ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, Ralph's Automotive. It is late in the evening. I kind of promised I would do this, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. These are passive buyers from Minnesota. We ain't going to tell no more, but anyway, this here is a 2012 Chevrolet Traverse, and the car overheated on them, and the reason why it overheated, it popped. Let me undo that camera. We want to make a quick video out of this here. I think we can. I think that it's still going to be helpful for some people. We've got relay for the fans here, and we've got the fuses right here, and both fuses actually started popping. Those are the big fuses, the 40 and the 30. So we did a little bit of diagnostic on this. So let me get you back up here, finish explaining. I figured it may help somebody, I don't know. It's not really, I don't think that this is something that happens all the time on these vehicles. Matter of fact, we don't get a lot of it at all. But what I ended up doing is I used my power probe, blow the fuse in the ground, so I did that right off the bat. And this here happens to be a hook, don't matter what power probe it is, or it don't matter how you do it. Actually, you don't need a power probe. Hit the select button. I'm on a 35 amp breaker right now. Select that. I just got me a ground jumper because the current was a little bit much, so I went ahead and got me a ground jumper. So I'm going to go ahead and see if we can energize the big fan that normally would run on a 40 amp. So this is set on 35 once again. So 35, I'm going to go ahead. Proof is in the pudding. I hope you can read the display. Go to select, and we're going to go what'd I do? Not 35, you dummy. All right, let's go down to 25 amp. That would be, I'm going to try to operate the smaller fan, the smaller of the two. That is on a 30 amp fuse. And besides that, you might want to do this on the new one anyway, because this is a lot of work, so you might want to test the fan. Woo, feel good. So we got the action, a lot of satisfaction. So the 30 ran on 25, the 40 ran on 35. No problem at all there. Let me safely lay this over here. I don't know how we managed to do this. Like I said, these folks here are on a road trip, and unfortunately their road trip ended in the good old Metropolis, Illinois. So once again, this actually, if I'm going to show you something else, if it's confusing to you, you can tell it like this. On this vehicle here, let me flip the screen. Okay, one set of wires is not quite as heavy as the other, so the 40 amp is going to this red and green. The 30 amp is going to the whatever, black and green, whatever that is. Okay, so you can tell by the wire, one wire set is not as heavy as the other. Flip the screen one more time. So you can tell by that. Do the same thing again, no cheating. Go to the low side first because I am on 25 amp. And if this thing starts working, we're going to shut the camera off. Nah, just kidding. Boom, trip. Alright, I'm not going to come back over there and show you this. I'm just going to set it. We're going to go to, well, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show it. Hopefully the camera can see it. I'm going to go ahead and select 65 amps of current. I want to go to the other side. Boom. It tripped it. So, pretty quick diagnostic. Not a whole lot to it. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily take a power probe to do that kind of diagnostic. You can use just about anything. Be careful. You know, obviously if you have anything that's fused, you're going to be blowing some fuses. If you got circuit breaker, that'd be your best bet. But anyway, I just wanted to share this. Pretty quick diagnostic on the old fan. Boom! Done. No, just kidding. You have to. Alright. Let's back up. Back up, back up, back up. Okay. First thing first. I'll remove the wheels. We'll get back to that in just a minute. Second thing is, there is screws that you want to take out. There is the actual cowl here. It's got the push clips. Can't miss that one. Pretty self-explanatory. Now there is screws on the bottom. There's supposed to be two 10 millimeters. The one side was broke. This one here was not. But there's also a couple more of the Torx screws on this particular model here. Some of them have hexes, some of them have Torx. The newer ones, the later models, have the Torx. So the cover is up here. I went ahead and removed the hood latch, and on the bottom you can undo the two 13 millimeter nuts, and you can lay this whole thing off to the side. Of course, you have to unplug your sensor off of it, but that way there is a sorry, plastic piece on the top. That goes up on top of here. There is only a couple of screws and couple of bolts, and there's two more bolts on either side just below the headlight. You will want to remove that too. You do not, under normal circumstances, you do not have to remove anything else on the radiator other than these brackets that bolt on right there. So I think this is pretty thorough. I mean, that's where that goes. With that being said, this can pull forward just enough to carefully get that out of there. You don't want to pry that. I mean, no prying. There is too much crap that can break, so we don't want to pry anything. You know, we don't want to be the cause of the customer having another issue. So, anyway, another common problem that I see with the Acadias, this fuse box here. I don't know if somebody messed with that. These bolts. Both bolts are stripped out. That's what actually sucks up the big plugs from underneath. Kind of be cautious on that one. I figured I'd throw that in there. Basically, now that we have the front skirt removed, or the whole entire front removed, the upper cowl, the frame that goes on the top here, now that we have all of that removed, then now we're obviously ready to put the other one back in, since we took the old one out already. Kind of goes without saying. A couple of electric plugs, not a big deal. You know, if you have fog lights and all that good stuff, obviously we're going to have to unplug that. And this one here, the radiator on the bottom, it just slips in. Show you this part here. Let me flip the screen once again. Right here, that's where it slips in. On the top, it bolts, two bolts on top, and there is, in the middle of the radiator, now there is two more, one on the bottom, one on the top. There is two more of the little screws, the Torx screws. Now, you'll have them in there. So, we're ready to maneuver this thing here back into place. It's a good idea to remember how it came out, because I've done so much talking now. I should have done that right away, but I didn't, so my bad on that one. So we pull out on that a little bit. like I said, do not pry on this. There is no prying. If we have to pry, we're going to mess something up. It's almost a certain guarantee. And I think I went backwards. So, anyway, I want to make a short video out of this. I'm going to have to take it back out, start it the other way. I'm going in the wrong way. I need to start this end first, then that end, so no big deal. I'm going to pull that back out. Like I said, be careful when you're pulling back because you got your transmission cooling line over here and you got the AC stuff over on the other side. Be careful. Do not yank on it like some crazy person. You will mess something up. Easy does it. Take your time. You know, it's well worth the time taking your time. That assembly right here, by the way, folks, it is a little bit bigger because it's got metal plates on the end of the motors that the original does not have. So bear that in mind. Still, be careful when you put that in. I'm going to turn the camera back on whenever I get everything put back together. I'm going to turn it on before I put the skirt on, and then again after I got the skirt on. You will lose a little bit of coolant because you have to undo your coolant hose. That being said, I'm going to keep on rocking. Whoopsie. I forgot to show you the shot before I put the skirt on. But anyway, so that's basically in a nutshell what that looks like. Torques over here, over here. That one don't come out. This one, this one, this one. Same on the other side. And this pretty much hangs the top. The bumper has to be slipped in. Let me back this up a little bit. Let me get this backed up a little bit and that away. I'm going to stand right here. You'll have to tuck it in underneath the light. There's a lip there. It has to go on that. Same on the other side. Let me do something real quick. I wanted to put that rag over the license plate since a lot of people don't like that when you show a license plate or whatever. But anyway, so we can see over here. Now on the side, I haven't done anything here yet or on the bottom. In the very corner, there's two screws that you're going to want to put them in first. That's the very first thing that you want to do is, come on, everything hangs up every friggin' where. But anyway, right here, there is a screw that goes through here. This one lines everything up. You want to tighten that one first. This is the bracket that goes underneath. You cannot mess this up in a sense because it can only go on one way. I separate them when I lay them on the table. I lay left to the left and right to the right, and that way you don't even have to look at it. You can bolt it right back on. But anyway, in a nutshell, so before we go on the bottom, of course, we'll put the top back together. Now, before you do any of that, I guess I should have mentioned that. Silly me. I guess I should have mentioned the fact that I actually had the vehicle running. So I've had it running for a while. Make sure these fans are actually doing what they're supposed to do. I'm blasting air conditioning, you know, make sure that part of all of it is working. So I think the customer is going to be good to continue their trip to the sunny south. And hopefully they'll be happy with what we did for them, especially considering that it's almost 11 o'clock at night. I'm going to go ahead and finish this one up. Won't turn the camera back on. Like I said, I done had it running and all that good stuff, so nothing else really to show. I figured I'll show it, just in case somebody might need that. Somebody might need that information and get something out of it. So, all right, we'll talk to you later. We'll see you on the next one. And head on down to the comment box, comments, suggestions. You know where to put them. Subscribe to the channel. If you don't care, help us out. We'll see you on the next one. So, I want to add something to the video before we end the video. Actually, customer is on the way south now. I think they're doing okay. I just wanted to add something in there. Very, 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 very appreciative. And I hope everything goes well for him. I just want to add that in there. I told him that there's going to be a YouTube video, so I wanted to throw that out there. We appreciate people like that. We appreciate them a whole heck of a lot. So, thank you. I'm out.